So far we've covered in investigation 3.2, we've covered part A, 1 and 2, and number 3. And we are now working on number 4, which is on page 53 at the very top, where it says sketch a graph to show the admission price for a group of any size. All right, all we basically have is we have an equation, and we're asked to make a graph basically given an equation. Now, in the last video, we did talk about what was X and what was Y. We actually needed to know that, and we need to know that now to make the graph. So we said that the admission price is Y and number of people is X. The reason why we said it was that way, or I didn't say why, but the reason why I picked it that way is because I can't figure out the admission price until I know how many people are going to go. So, because you're not going to go and say, what's your admission price, for a group? They're going to want to know how many people are in a group, or else they can't give you a specific price. So, in order to figure out admission price, I got to tell them how many people are in a group. All right. So, when we set up our graph, okay, let me get this together here. All right. Admission price. And number of people. Okay. And what I think I'm going to do is skip lines. I'm not going to do a whole bunch. Okay. Now, we have a problem because I don't have any data. So what I ideally want to do is I want to make a table where I have people, or my N, and price, which is P. All right. Now here's the funny thing. We don't know where to start. Okay? It's kind of up to us, believe it or not. So we can actually pick any number of people that we want. So in situations like this, I usually tell my students, pick easy numbers. Okay? Pick numbers like 0, 1, 2, and then, maybe jump down to like 10. You don't even have to jump down to 10. All right? But pick easy numbers first, just so you can kind of see. We already know there's an equation, and because there's an equation, we know that when we make a graph, it's going to be a straight line. And I'm going to actually show you how that works. It actually works out kind of cool. So let's try this out. If there's 0 people, that means I'm doing 10 times 0 plus 50. So 10 times 0 is 0, plus 50 is just 50. So if no one comes and I get the group price, I have to pay 50 bucks. Seems kind of stupid, right? But that's how it works. If one person shows up, then that's going to be, oh man, see, look at this, I'm running out of room. 10 times 1 plus 50, which is actually going to be 10 plus 50, which is 60. 2 people show up. 10 times 2 plus 50. So that's going to give me 20 plus 50, which is 70. And so now you can kind of see that what is happening is counting by 10. All right? So it's counting by 10. Now, what happens when I get to 10 people? That's a big jump. So what I'm going to do, so that's 10 times 10 plus 50. So that's 100 plus 50. So that's 150. Okay, I'm not going to try to find a pattern for that because that's just a big jump. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. All right, so for number of people, let's actually count by twos. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, that gets up to my 10 people. For my price, we had to get up to 150. Really? Wow. Okay, so let's count by, I don't know what I want to count by. See, I'm not going to count by tens. That's crazy. I could count by 50. That's going to be really hard, though. Wow, I need some more lines. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll do 8. Okay, 8 should fit on your graph, I believe. Okay, so if I have 8 lines, man, you guys are making me do too much work over here. So I have to get it to 150 divided by 8 scale marks. All right, so I can count by 20s. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. All right. So we have that. All right. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to basically plot some of these points. So at 0, it's 0. At 1, it is 60. At 2, it is 70. Ooh, I'm sorry, I just messed up. You know, I'm really getting tired of you guys not telling me when I mess up. Okay, my fault. At 0, it's 50. Knew something was wrong. At 1, it's 60. Can you hear the ice cream truck? That's really annoying. At 2, it's 70. And then we jump to 10, which was 150, which is right there. Now, here's the trick. The trick is when you have an equation, it actually turns out that you'll actually get a straight line. So, once you have one coordinate and another one, you can actually just make a straight line. Okay, and everything else should line up almost perfectly. Okay, give or take a little bit depending upon how you draw the line. All right, so let's move this up a little bit. Okay, good. All right, so our graph is done. All right, so that takes care of part 4. Now the question is, how does this pattern of change show up in the equation and the graph? So in the equation, what I basically showed you was that it's increasing by 10 every single time. Starts at 50, which is what we have, and then it increases by 10 for every one person that it goes up. All right, and in the equation, you can basically just see the 10 tells me how much it increases by per person, and the 50 is my starting point. All right, I'm not extremely worried about question number 5. So the main thing is that you get the graph down and that you have some semblance of a table that you made. Question number 5, I'm not really concerned about. That's more of a, you can just listen to me say it, and as long as you understand the concept, we're fine. You don't have to actually write down number 5. All right, so in our next video, we are going to start with part B of this investigation. And the ice cream truck, of course, has stopped because the video's over.